With an illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work, if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
I won't allow it. I can't.
Indeed, should Corypheus succeed, do not doubt you would be first to feel his holy wrath.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvian before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You overcome it. All three of you together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Leliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus' army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence, but the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morrigan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
We've embarked on a quest that ends in facing the most powerful monster in all Thedas. Do get a good night's sleep.
As you wish.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this illuvion.
Alright, what Pride had wrought. This is one of the final missions, and we have another major decision point coming up involving the Inquisitor and Morrigan. Some of you already know what that means, and I suggest that we start getting to voting about that right now. I don't know at what point I'll get to it, but I need to have your votes ready to be counted, so that way we move with one way or the other. As for the very beginning of this, the Inquisition is now a force to be reckoned with. Call its allies to rally their soldiers and march with Inquisitor Adar's army to the Arbor Wilds, where they will face Corypheus' zealots one final time. The Inquisition must stop Corypheus before the Darkspawn Magister finds a long-lost elven artifact in the wilds that allows him to enter the Fade physically and claim its power. got here? Sentinel Shadow. That's right, we're fighting elves in this area. Where'd he go? Is that him? Right there. Nice. Well, this is a pretty long mission, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've done this now. It's a lot of running around, getting into little engagements here and there, collecting a ton of Stormheart. There's so much Stormheart in this area. It's pretty crazy. I mean, pretty much every time I ping, like every, I don't know, 50 yards or so, like there's more Stormheart. Look, more Stormheart. There's some good Silverite deposits as well, if you keep your eyes open. Like there's one hidden behind a waterfall back there. Not a lot, but there's some. Stormheart is great though. This is a great all-purpose use tier 3 metal that can be used for a variety of schematics. And Arbor Wilds as a whole, I think, is, well, I mean, before the DLC, Jaws of Hakon, came out, the Arbor Wilds was definitely my favorite area. And it's still extremely beautiful. Down you go, giant. Alright, I think we're getting pretty close. We have one more blockade to reach up ahead. But before that, more Stormheart. There's a bunch of Arbor Blessing as well around here. But that can be found really easy as well in Emprise du Lion. I bet some of you are wondering, aren't you supposed to be playing with your Inquisitor most of the time? Honestly, I suppose yes, but I find that the game just seems to play so much smoother if I take control of the tank. Whoever the tank is, and it's usually Blackwall, then that's who I tend to play with when Nightmare starts to feel actually hard. Without taking control of Blackwall, then, I don't know. Things just tend to get really, really messy because the AI doesn't know how to use Blackwall efficiently in order to control the fight. To use Warcry effectively, to use Walking Fortress and all of that stuff when it needs to be used. And I think I made a mention of this recently. Maybe it was on the live stream. But two things are going to carry you through the toughest fights, it feels like, in Nightmare difficulty. It's having control of your tank or control of a damn good mage. And that usually ends up, for me, being actually the Rift Mage. People have been saying, you know, this and that about how the Knight Enchanter is the OP class, and well, it makes the game easier. Honestly, that for me, that's actually Rift Mage. I mean, sure, the Knight Enchanter has some amazing support, and can be used to solo the game. But all of the control and damage that you get from a good Rift Mage build like mine just makes the game so much more possible on Nightmare. Alright, let's see. Let's check the map, actually. Oh yeah, we're getting really close. All we really needed to do was just follow that water. Let's head back to that, actually. So we're off to find the Temple of Mythal. One of the more iconic moments, I think, definitely in the game. And one of the most interesting decision points, I think, as well, between, and, you know, I'm trying to say this without much of a spoiler, but it's either going to be the Inquisitor or Morrigan, right? And whoever drinks makes a huge impact on where the rest of the game goes. Up to this point, I have chosen each time for Morrigan to drink. Because, well, she just makes a really good argument why she should be the one to drink, right? And that has some very interesting effects on the story and her character progression. I'm actually really interested to see, and don't take this as like me like hinting to you that's what we should choose, but I'm really interested to see what would happen if the Inquisitor is actually the one who drinks. And be it this playthrough or one of my other playthroughs here in Dragon Age Inquisition, I'll figure it out. So you guys just go ahead and you choose. This is the viewer-driven story, not the kinetic-driven story. More Stormheart. Alright, so that was the final blockade. What's over here? Ah, more arbor. And this is the entrance. Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Namelana Sabanale.
They still think to fight us, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows.
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
It cannot be!
Across the bridge, now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
So, you want to explain why Corypheus said he was here for some Well of Sorrows and not an alluvion?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You were guessing. Corypheus might not be after this alluvion. It might not even be here.
Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
Indeed. Ah, the Temple of Mythal. This place is really, really cool. It's got some really nice puzzle elements as well, leading up to, well, let me just stop where I'm talking right there. But we've got some puzzles, which are pretty cool to experiment with, like for example here.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
So, good Andrastians, we offer a prayer to elven gods.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
Let's see. I have to now remember how the hell I used to do these. Something like this. There we go.
Well done. Let us see what awaits.
These are actually really simple. A little challenging, but quite simple, I mean, in concept. You basically just need to step on all of the
I
blocks.
see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Those elves lay an impressive ambush. Where are they?
Preparing another display of hospitality, no doubt.
Hold them off!
too bad. Let's see. Oh, Morgan, you have something to say?
Yes.
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Let's continue.
Indeed.
As you wish.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot I also gained a level recently. Let's take a look at that. Where am I going with this character build? I really think at this point I'm just looking for passives, since my my action bar is completely full up. And let's see. Could do maybe... I can't remember if these passives have been fixed or not, or whether they're still kind of glitched out. But maximum guard, if it's working, that's the one out that I would go for. Most definitely. Alright, we're gonna have a bit of a debate on which way we're gonna be going here soon.
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
You've an army dying out there, Inquisitor. We're wasting time fiddling with this magic. If jumping down will get us out faster, we should do it.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't know what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal? Or yours?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
You barely know what the Well of Sorrows is, but you want to restore it.
Yes. Is Thedas so full of wonders that we should leave them to die one by one? Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way.
So we've come to actually two major decision points here. I completely forgot that there was 2 different paths to proceed in this mission, not just the decision point whether it's going to be Morrigan or the Inquisitor. Let's just cut to it, right? The Well of Sorrows is what I was referring to as being either the Inquisitor or Morrigan, right? I think that's still quite vague without actually spoiling much. If you want to go ahead and vote one way or the other, who will interact with the Well of Sorrows? Will it be Morrigan or the Inquisitor? Leave your vote down below. And also, to make sure that we take advantage of this decision, also vote on whether we will go through the temple or whether we will follow Samson through the hole. So 2 votes, right? And I really hope you guys are going to vote on this, because it makes a huge difference, I think, in just the success of this series. There's hundreds of people watching these videos. I see no reason why we can't have like 50 votes at the very least for one decision or the other. So just to reiterate those 2 choices, the first choice, alright, first choice is, are we going to go through the temple or will we follow Samson? That's decision number 1. Decision number 2, which will probably also be included in the next video, is whether Morrigan or the Inquisitor will interact with the Well of Sorrows. Let me know down in the comment section below which you would like to see, and we will go ahead and move forward with that as soon as I see a good number of votes. So make sure that you're voting. I can't stress this enough. Please vote for the viewer-driven story series. That's what this is all about. Other than that, I would also like to just hear your comments in general in the comment section below. Click the like button to support these Dragon Age Inquisition videos here on the channel, and make sure you're subscribed. More videos are coming. Thanks again for watching. My name is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.